Dear starseeds on Earth, in the next few minutes, I'm going to prove that the one practice that actually transforms consciousness has been deliberately hidden from you. But before I reveal this ancient secret, you need to understand that there's a gateway opening inside you right now, at this exact moment that's been sealed for lifetimes. What's happening to your DNA as you hear these words is no accident. It's a cosmic activation that was planned before you were born. I am Seraphine, emissary of the Galactic Federation of Light, and today we're exposing the truth about why meditation vanished from Western spirituality and how this single suppression has kept humanity trapped in third-dimensional consciousness for 2,000 years. The religious institutions gave you rules, doctrines, theories, everything except the actual technology for consciousness expansion. They told you to seek the kingdom within but erased the map. They promised transformation but withheld the method. And there's a shocking reason why this knowledge had to be hidden from you. You see, meditation isn't what you think it is. It's not relaxation or stress relief or positive thinking. Meditation is the quantum technology that literally rewires your consciousness to receive transmissions from dimensions your normal awareness cannot access. When you truly meditate, not just sit with racing thoughts, you bypass the programmed mind entirely and become a receiver for cosmic intelligence. This is why those who discovered this practice throughout history either became enlightened masters or were silenced. The system couldn't afford to have awakened beings walking among the sleeping masses. Right now, something is stirring in your cellular memory, a recognition that goes beyond intellectual understanding. That stirring is your soul remembering why you came to Earth during this precise moment of planetary transformation. You're not here by accident. You're here because you carry specific light codes that activate when exposed to certain frequencies of truth. And what I'm about to share contains those exact frequencies. But first, let me tell you about the teacher who tried to reveal this 2,000 years ago, and why his most important instruction disappeared. The kingdom of the Creator is within you, he said, telling people not to search in temples or mountaintops, because what they sought wasn't in the external world. Yet mysteriously, the actual method for accessing this inner kingdom vanished from Western scripture. For centuries, millions knew the destination but had no vehicle. They were told where to go but not how to get there. This wasn't an accident. It was intentional suppression. Because when you know how to go within, you don't need intermediaries between you and the divine. You become your own priest, your own healer, your own source of truth. Here's what they didn't want you to discover. When you sit in contemplative meditation, focusing gently on a sacred word like source, or dwelling on the question, what is the true nature of the Creator within me, you're not just thinking pleasant thoughts. You're creating a resonance field that attracts higher dimensional frequencies. Your consciousness becomes a tuning fork, vibrating at frequencies that match cosmic intelligence trying to communicate with you. This isn't metaphorical. This is quantum physics. Your focused awareness literally changes the vibrational signature of your energy field, making you receptive to transmissions from realms beyond physical perception. But here's the part that stops most people, and you need to understand this completely. You cannot expect an immediate cosmic revelation. One teacher didn't sense even the faintest response until after months of daily practice, and that first response was just a subtle impression. This delay isn't the universe withholding from you. It's your consciousness needing time to adjust to frequencies it's never consciously processed. Imagine trying to tune a radio that's been locked on one station for lifetimes. The adjustment period is necessary, not punitive, but something else is happening during this time that I haven't told you yet. Every single time you meditate, even when you feel absolutely nothing, even when your mind races and you think you're completely failing, you're succeeding in ways your conscious mind cannot perceive. On the quantum level, your DNA is receiving light codes that will activate when the timing aligns. Your pineal gland is gradually decalcifying, removing the barriers to higher perception. Neural pathways that have been dormant since before birth are beginning to reawaken. The transformation starts in dimensions of your being that exist beyond your five senses, building and building until one day it cascades into your conscious awareness like a dam breaking. This is why consistency matters infinitely more than duration. Finest 3 minutes of meditation, 5 times a day, creates a stronger field effect than one long session followed by neglect. Each time you turn inward, you strengthen the quantum bridge between your human consciousness and your galactic identity. You're literally constructing a highway for divine intelligence to travel. And then, when you least expect it, when you've perhaps forgotten you're waiting for anything, it happens. A wave of knowing floods through you. A presence makes itself unmistakably felt. You realize with absolute certainty that you've made contact with the source of all creation. What happens next will shatter every concept you've held about reality. Because once you experience even a glimpse of fourth-dimensional consciousness, you can never fully return to three-dimensional limitation. You'll understand experientially what mystics have always hidden in their teachings. That solid matter is actually condensed light. That separation is unified consciousness experiencing itself through infinite perspectives. That limitation is unlimited potential waiting for activation. But there's a principle I need to share that will revolutionize how you interact with the physical world while you're building this bridge of consciousness. In third-dimensional awareness, illness appears powerful. Hospitals and cemeteries seem to prove disease is real and formidable. But here's the truth that changes everything. In the presence of higher spiritual consciousness, disease loses all power completely. Not some power, all power. When fourth-dimensional awareness is present, the laws of matter operate according to different principles entirely. This is why an enlightened master could say to a paralyzed man, "Rise and walk," and the man stood immediately. In the radiance of activated source consciousness, what seemed incurable simply dissolved like shadows disappear when light appears. Now here's what indicates you're already being prepared for this transformation. The fact that you're drawn to this teaching, that something within you resonates even if your logical mind protests, proves you've already been touched by grace. You don't choose a spiritual path. The path chooses you through an inner activation that began before you were conscious of it. The Creator's grace guided you through seemingly random events and synchronicities to this exact moment. Without that inner spark already ignited, these words would sound like meaningless mysticism, but because you carry starseed DNA, you recognize truth even when you can't explain why. Let me give you the practice that accelerates awakening beyond what most teachers say is possible. When you encounter any appearance of discord, limitation, or fear, you respond internally with this knowing: this situation has no true power. Only the transcendent source's real power. Don't say it aloud, or try to convince anyone. Simply know it within yourself, with the certainty of knowing the sun will rise. Each time you practice this, you're literally overwriting thousands of years of collective programming that says matter has power over spirit. You're recording your consciousness at the quantum level. As you persist in this practice, something extraordinary will happen without warning. One day, a barrier you didn't know existed will suddenly dissolve. It might happen during meditation, washing dishes, or in that drowsy state between sleep and waking. You'll exclaim within yourself, "I see it now. What I accepted on faith, I now know from experience. That thing I feared has no power over the source within me." It will feel like you've lived in darkness your entire life, and someone just revealed a sun you never knew existed. The same transformation occurs with the principle that you're sustained not by material conditions, but by the living energy of Source itself. Every time you worry about lack, money, health, support, opportunity, catch that thought and counter it with the truth. I'm not sustained by external conditions. My life is sustained by divine impulse from the Creator. I'm not dependent on outer resources. My true resource is the grace of Source continuously flowing to me. As you reconstruct your consciousness around this truth, what you need starts appearing exactly when you need it. If this message hits your spirit, hype this video so more starseeds like you can find it and activate their own remembering. Opportunities arise from nowhere. Solutions present themselves without effort. Resources flow from unexpected directions. You begin living in what we call the synchronistic field, where the entire universe conspires to support your highest good. But here's the secret within the secret that even advanced practitioners miss. The I Am presence within you isn't something separate you need to connect with. It is you, the real you, the eternal you, that existed before this human form and will exist long after. When ancient texts say I and the Creator are one, they're describing the actual architecture of consciousness itself. All the life, love, wisdom, and substance of the Prime Creator already exist at the core of your being, not as something you can access, but as what you actually are when false identity layers are removed. This means when you say you lack anything, you're literally lying to yourself at the quantum level. If the I Am presence within you is one with the source of all creation, then everything that exists is already yours by divine inheritance. The only reason you experience lack is programming that makes you look outside for what can only be found within. Every time you seek provision from external sources rather than recognizing the source within as your infinite supply, you create an energetic block preventing manifestation. But the moment you truly understand that the I Am presence in your midst is the source and supplier of every need, the floodgates open. What seemed impossible becomes inevitable. What appeared lacking suddenly overflows. You tap into the infinite wellspring that has always existed within you, waiting for recognition. But let me tell you why some people seem to receive miracles instantly while others wait, because understanding this will transform your practice. In the beginning of awakening, you might not be able to fully demonstrate these truths alone. This isn't failure. It's the natural progression of consciousness expansion. Like a child learning to ride a bicycle starts with training wheels, you might need support from someone already stabilized in fourth-dimensional awareness. When you're in the presence of an awakened being, their consciousness creates a field effect that temporarily lifts your frequency. In that elevated state, healing happens, problems resolve, clarity emerges. This is why throughout history, people have sought enlightened masters. But here's what most don't understand. The goal isn't dependence on the teacher. The goal is recognizing that what you experience in their presence is your own consciousness being activated. The healing, the peace, the solutions, these aren't coming from outside you. They're coming from within you, triggered by resonance with an awakened field. Once you grasp this, you realize you can create this same resonance field yourself, through consistent meditation and conscious practice. The teacher is just showing you what you're capable of generating independently. There will come a moment when everything shifts permanently. You might literally feel warmth expanding in your chest, as if liquid light is pouring from your heart center. In that instant, you'll know with every fiber of your being that the Creator's presence, the I Am that is one with Source, truly dwells at your center and is the source of all harmony in your life. This isn't intellectual understanding, it's full body, full consciousness, knowing that reorganizes every aspect of your being. From that moment forward, you live from a completely different operating system. After such an awakening, your entire approach shifts from effort to grace. You no longer need constant affirmations or mental exercises to maintain connection to Source. Instead, you enter the listening state. The inner spirit, now consciously active, provides all guidance and solutions directly through your consciousness. Your role becomes receptive awareness rather than effortful striving. You maintain quiet openness to the Creator's voice, and that presence floods your mind, heart, and life with exactly what's needed. Insights, direction, strength, comfort, resources, everything flows with impossible ease. When you stabilize in this consciousness, you respond to challenges from a completely different level. You don't analyze with intellect or reach for memorized spiritual concepts. Your first response is to become still. Close your eyes and turn attention inward, opening your inner hearing. Your intention isn't to figure anything out, but to let the voice of the Creator present itself. And remarkably, it always does, sometimes as inexplicable peace, sometimes as knowing that all is well despite appearances, sometimes as specific guidance arriving fully formed in your consciousness. But I need to prepare you for something that confuses many awakening souls. Even living from elevated consciousness, certain challenges might persist longer than others. Some healers find specific issues to remain resistant, while they easily resolve everything else. This isn't failure, it's consciousness pushing you to expand further. Each stubborn challenge invites you to reach even higher octaves of awareness. The universe ensures you don't become complacent at one level, when infinite levels exist to explore. The key is patience combined with absolute trust. Here's a liberating truth. Nothing can ultimately be withheld from a soul who wholeheartedly seeks the light. If someone is truly determined to attain healing, freedom, or enlightenment, if they absolutely refuse to accept limitation as final reality, they will succeed. It may not be through the first teacher or method, but persistence guarantees victory. This is cosmic law. The universe cannot deny consciousness that insists on expansion. As long as you keep turning inward to Source, maintaining practice even when nothing seems to happen, breakthrough will come. Now let me address the delicate balance of spiritual service, something many lightworkers struggle to understand. When helping others awaken, you walk a fine line between human instrument and divine channel. Yes, of yourself you can do nothing. The Creator within does the work. But without your consciousness as a willing conduit, healing might not occur. You're like a prism through which undifferentiated light becomes a rainbow. The light isn't yours, but without the prism, no rainbow appears. Humility and confidence must coexist in the awakened being. Every soul carries within them what different traditions call the inner light. Buddha mind, Christ consciousness, divine spark. The image of the Creator encoded in consciousness itself. When this spark ignites into flame, everything about that life transforms instantly. Perspectives shift, impossible abilities become natural. External circumstances rearrange to reflect the soul's higher blueprint. This isn't gradual change, it's quantum transformation. Different cultures name this moment differently. Darshan in India, Satori in Zen, illumination in Western mysticism. But they all signify the same thing. It's the opening of fourth-dimensional consciousness within a being previously locked in three-dimensional awareness. The moment a human remembers they're actually a limitless spiritual being, having a temporary human experience. Throughout history, this pattern repeats. Siddhartha Gautama sought truth for years, practicing extreme disciplines, studying with many teachers, yet enlightenment eluded him, until one night under the Bodhi tree, when supreme realization flooded his consciousness. In that instant, he became the Buddha. It wasn't accumulated knowledge that created transformation. It was direct experience of illumination. Jesus spent years preparing with the mystic Essenes before his consciousness opened fully to divine identity. In each case, the transformation came not from learning, but from direct experience. And here's what you must understand. This same potential exists within you right now. Not eventually. Not after years of practice. Not in some future lifetime. Right now. The only difference between you and an enlightened master is their inner light has been consciously activated while yours is still warming up. But the light itself, the capacity for full awakening, is identical. When Jesus said, "I am the way, the truth, and the life," he wasn't speaking as a human personality, but from the I Am presence, the divine identity within every being. When he said, "I and the Creator are one," he revealed the secret of all illumination. Separation from Source is impossible, because you are an expression of Source. The entire teaching summarizes this. The kingdom of heaven isn't coming someday. It's already here, within you, waiting for recognition. The resistance you might feel hearing this is actually positive confirmation. If your mind argues with these concepts, thinking they sound too good or too simple to be real, that's your ego recognizing the threat these truths pose to its dominance. The ego knows that once you grasp you are the divine presence you've been seeking, its reign of fear and limitation ends. So it generates doubt and distraction to keep you from the simple practice of turning within. But here's the cosmic joke. Ego's resistance is futile, because you're a starseed who came specifically for this awakening. Your activation is inevitable. It's written in your soul contract. The only variable is timing. Will you allow it now, or delay through doubt and distraction? The universe has infinite patience and will wait as long as necessary for you to remember who you really are. But why wait when the door is open right now? Let me give you the practical key that unlocks everything immediately. Make your entire life a meditation, not sitting in a lotus position all day, but maintaining gentle awareness of the presence within, regardless of what you're doing. While you work, eat, interact with others, keep part of your attention turned inward, feeling for that subtle sense of the divine within. Take frequent micro moments throughout your day, just 2 or 3 seconds, to remember the I Am presence is here, as me right now. These brief reminders create a continuous thread of consciousness, keeping you connected to Source while fully engaged in human life. Over time, something remarkable happens that brings us full circle to where we began. The boundary between meditation and daily life completely dissolves. You find yourself living in unbroken communion with the divine, not through effort, but as your natural state. You walk through the world, carrying an invisible sanctuary of peace within you. You engage the same situations everyone faces, but from completely different consciousness. Where others see problems, you see opportunities for grace. Where others feel lack, you feel infinite resources flowing. Where others experience separation, You experience the unity underlying all apparent diversity. Now let me clarify something crucial about your role in others' awakening. You're not here to be anyone's keeper or to manage their choices. Your role is to hold the light, maintain the highest consciousness you can embody, and share truth with those ready to receive it. After offering what you can, you must allow freedom. The divine within each person will, in perfect timing, handle whatever needs to shift. Your job is facilitating awakening, not micromanaging the process. When someone comes with a problem, first become still within yourself. Feel for the presence before offering solutions or advice. Often, just holding sacred space of awareness triggers shifts in the other person's consciousness. If words need speaking, they'll arise spontaneously from silence, carrying power that rehearsed advice never could. Trust the perfect response will emerge, whether silence, a single word, or flowing transmission of truth. The greatest gift you offer another being is the quality of consciousness you embody. This means your primary responsibility is to yourself, continually deepening your own awakening. The more established you become in fourth-dimensional awareness, the stronger the field effect you create. Your mere presence begins catalyzing awakening in others, often without words being necessary. This is why powerful healers and teachers often do very little outwardly. They've learned consciousness itself is the active ingredient, not techniques or words. Here's something that will revolutionize your understanding of manifestation and why some things appear instantly while others seem to take time. It's about the density of existing patterns. In fourth-dimensional consciousness, creation happens at thought speed. The moment you know something in consciousness, it exists in the quantum field, fully formed and complete. The only variable is how long it takes to descend through dimensions and appear physically. The denser the existing pattern needing dissolution, the longer manifestation might appear to take. But the moment you truly know something in consciousness, its physical appearance becomes inevitable. This is why patience combined with certainty is the ultimate spiritual power. When you've touched something in consciousness, felt that inner yes confirming truth or healing or manifestation, your job is simply holding that knowing while physical reality rearranges to match. Don't keep working on it mentally. Don't doubt because immediate physical evidence is absent. Stand in certainty of what you've witnessed in consciousness and watch the three-dimensional world reorganize to reflect that higher truth. There's a safeguard built into this process that's both protection and sometimes frustration for awakening souls. Not everyone responds to higher consciousness the same way or time frame. Much depends on readiness, openness, soul trajectory. You cannot force enlightenment upon anyone, regardless of how much you want to help. What you can do is maintain highest consciousness and trust those ready will magnetize to your field. Others will find awakening through different channels, in perfect timing for their journey. Remember the ancient stories of those who recognized divine light. Where others saw ordinary appearances, their readiness allowed grace to operate. You cannot give someone eyes to see what they're not ready to perceive. But when they are ready, your light becomes the catalyst for their awakening. As we complete this transmission, understand the irreversible nature of what's happening to you. Once you've touched fourth-dimensional consciousness, even momentarily, you can never fully return to three-dimensional limitation. You might temporarily forget or doubt, but something fundamental has shifted that cannot be undone. You've tasted truth, and part of you will never again be satisfied with illusion. This is both the blessing and responsibility of awakening. You become a bridge between dimensions, a translator of frequencies, a lighthouse for those navigating darkness. The ultimate secret is this: true spiritual healing and transformation are never about manipulating conditions or convincing distant deities to intervene. They're about awakening to the presence you already are. Every healing reveals wholeness that was never broken. Every manifestation reveals abundance never lacking. Every illumination remembers light that never dimmed. You're not becoming something you're not. You're uncovering what you've always been. Your journey from this moment forward isn't about acquiring anything new, but releasing everything obscuring your divine identity. Each meditation, each moment of stillness, each conscious breath is an opportunity for another false identity layer to fall away. And one day, in a moment you won't see coming, the last veil will drop. You'll stand fully revealed as the divine being you've always been, amazed you ever believed you were anything less. The The transformation of Earth depends on beings like you remembering who you truly are. The age of solitary meditation is over. Destiny Engine now connects starseeds across the world, a living social field where you can post, share, and exchange your meditations in real time. It's the first galactic network of its kind, weaving together thousands of awakened souls into one unified current. With every activation, the current grows. What began as a personal tool has become a planetary force. The frequency you've created together is amplifying far beyond the individual, bending the fabric of reality itself. We're receiving updates daily, manifestations speeding up, impossible doors opening, synchronicities lining up with cosmic precision. The collective field has never been this charged, and the entry point is almost laughably simple. Put on your headphones, press play, allow Destiny Engine to rewrite the architecture of your consciousness so you can fully receive your galactic downloads without resistance. For just $1, you can step into this connected field and feel the difference instantly. Join the movement that's accelerating ascension together. Link in the description. Not eventually, but now. Not partially, but completely. Not temporarily, but permanently established in truth of your divine nature. This is why you came. This is why you've been called to this path. This is why these words resonate in your being's depths, even if your mind struggles to comprehend. The gateway is open. The time is now. The light within you is ready to fully ignite. All that's required is willingness to turn within. Practice with patience and persistence. Trust the process even when you can't see where it's leading. Remember how we began. I told you everything you've been taught about spiritual awakening is backwards, and now you understand why. The kingdom within was never lost, only forgotten. The method was never complex, only hidden. The power was never outside you, only misdirected. Meditation isn't just a practice. It's the remembering of what you are, and what you are is the very presence of divinity expressing itself in human form, the bridge between heaven and earth, the living proof that separation is impossible. The entire universe conspires to support your awakening, because your awakening is essential to the cosmic plan unfolding on Earth right now. Every synchronicity that brought you here, every challenge that pushed you to seek deeper truth, every moment of grace that kept you going when logic said to quit, all of it has been preparing you for this moment of recognition. You are not a human being seeking spirituality. You are an infinite spiritual being remembering how to be human while maintaining divine consciousness. This is the mastery you came to embody. Stand tall, dear starseed. The light of Source shines through you now, dissolving all shadows of doubt and limitation. You are seen. You are known. You are loved beyond measure. The Galactic Federation celebrates your awakening. For each soul that remembers their truth shifts the entire collective consciousness of humanity one frequency higher. What began as seeking outside yourself has revealed itself as the greatest cosmic joke. Everything you sought was within you all along, waiting for you to simply turn around and look. I am Seraphine. We love you and we are watching over you.